All right, we are here today to give you an update of my new house, but it's not really so new anymore. We bought it almost a year ago.
It's officially lived in. You'll see.
We're gonna tour the house, but we're really gonna focus in on paint, when to go bold and when to go white.
Am I allowed to comment on questionable decisions?
Of course.
Great. Let's start right at the front door. Front door and your entry point is the first impression. This puppy needs to be repainted.
Think about your front door. It's a small footprint compared to an entire room of your home. You can also have fun with it. Here, it's just black, but think about ways that you could make your front door pop with a gutsy color.
Yes.
All right, let's go in and check out the house. First, the living room.
Okay, so you moved in and you did not go bold.
Nope, we kept everything intentional. This is the biggest mistake people make, is picking paint first. Paint is not the only thing happening in this room. As you can see, there's a rug, and at the time we didn't know what rug we were gonna have. There's a sofa fabric. We didn't know what color sofa fabric we were gonna have. There's light coming in through the windows, and we weren't sure how it was gonna hit on all of the different materials in here. All of those things affect how paint reads. Let's get out of here and go check out the kitchen. Since we wanna rip out that flooring, we can talk about why we had paint white in there too. A lot of us move into spaces that aren't exactly what we would have chosen. And this is what we've got, a tile floor that we don't necessarily like. So that brings us immediately to pause on paint. What do we just learn? That floors change paint colors because it reflects onto the walls.
So white wasn't safe, it was actually strategic because we don't know where we're going. You also need to think about the role the windows play in the background with the black grit paint. Painting trim is no joke.
As you can see, there are a lot of materials in this space that we are working with. We had cabinetry that matches the kitchen that we weren't going to repaint. So there's a dark color that's automatically reflecting onto the walls. Then we have throw pillows, and we were figuring out what colors we wanted to have before we went with a paint color. And then we weren't sure, are we gonna have a rug underneath the dining table or not? What color would that be? Onto the flooring and then to the tile in the kitchen. So keeping paint white until we know what materials are going to be here long-term was a smart choice. Let's go check out my daughter's room where we did decide to use color. Took some guts. Let's go check it out.
Oh my gosh, the ceilings are low, and architecturally, there's no stop and start to the ceiling that's sloped. So it makes a ton of sense to paint the ceiling.
Yeah, I'm so glad we did. It would have looked too chopped up. Have I thought about color drenching? Of course I have. I would love to maybe eventually paint the window trim a glossier version of the same paint color. In here, we tested the samples on the wall, morning, noon, and night, with several different colors of this blushy pink to make sure that it worked with all of the natural light that's coming in through the windows. While selecting the paint color, I gathered items that I knew would be staying in the room, like the frames on the wall and the lampshade. This pillow, I really wanted it to work with whatever color we had. This is something that I purchased right after, and that's what I used with the paint samples while looking at the natural light. If this has you in a paint spiral, now is a great time to purchase our guidebook.
Because paint is expensive, not because of the product, because of the labor. So it is no joke. Think before you paint.
The link for our guidebook is right below in the caption. Go grab it. The powder bathroom is one of the best places in your house to go bold. We bought this house and this room was green, not a green that I want in my house. But we're about to change some pipes behind the walls, so we can't paint it the color we want just yet. But we did on the trim to start playing with the wallpaper that we're gonna do here. Wallpaper and paint are some of the best ways to go bold in a small space. And here we're doing both. Don't forget, treat small rooms just like you would big rooms. Big samples, look at them in the morning, noon, and the night to make sure that you get the best color for your house.
Okay, bedrooms, white or bold?
In bedrooms, you usually want calm colors. Choosing colors that makes you feel good. Usually a very light hint of color is our comfort zone. White works beautifully here because we have a lot of color coming from the textiles in the bedding and the art that you see on the walls. Those things bring a lot of color and personality. And actually, before we go to the bathroom, I want to show you something that I got.
Ooh, wait, what did you
This
buy?
painting is gonna make the room even more colorful, and it's gonna make sense of why we're keeping it white.
Let's see it,
Okay.
let's see it.
I found this on Etsy. One thing I love about this painting are the colors that pull from the rug. I also really like that it has calming colors for a bedroom, like the light blue and some of the light pinks and peaches coming through.
What are 2 ways you can make framing less expensive for that?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted a less expensive option, you could look at IKEA or Target. They already have frames that are pre-made. You just want to make sure that it fits in there nicely. Or if you wanted it to be custom, you could decide what type of wood or what type of color that you would want for this image.
So in this room too, I'm noticing that the ceilings don't have a real stop and start. So you painted the walls and the ceilings same color, correct? It makes the room.
No, we didn't paint in here. This was already like this when we moved in. Same as the living room and the dining room. We wanted to figure out what colors we wanted in here before we painted.
Yeah, and so are you telling me that designers even don't have large walk-in closets? What's going on behind?
There's no hanging space in this house. So this is a temporary closet and I kind of like it. I just leaned into like, how do I make it a design moment when I actually really need the space? And so I got hangers that I thought were really fun and interesting. Copper, and
Even she color coordinated the flow from whites to grays to creams to peaches all the way to black. So it doesn't just look good because out of happenstance. It looks good because it was thoughtfully planned in color.
yeah, I'm a weirdo. I don't know what to say about that. Enough about this space. Let's go check out the bathroom.
Okay, when you bought the house, this bathroom was painted like this. Do you like it?
Actually, I do really like it. My husband doesn't like it as much, but I love how it actually makes the space feel larger. And we talk about that a lot. Like, it can feel really scary to take a color that's dark up onto the ceiling, but in small spaces, it does make the space feel bigger.
Yeah, it's because you remove the visual breaks. When you stop the color at the ceiling, your eye sees a boundary.
Yeah, when you carry it up, it elongates the space. Please notice the sheen. Sheen matters. Often bathrooms are painted in satin. Satin is a glossier paint finish and it reflects light, especially in smaller rooms. And you have the relationship between incandescent lighting and exterior sunshine. You can adjust sheen slightly if you want different dimension, but keeping color continuous simplifies everything.
One thing I'm noticing is they chose to paint the trim that's neighboring the tile the white color. The trim of those windows would have stuck out a lot if they would have painted it the room color dark.
Yeah, I really love that part, and I love that nature comes forward and the colors from outside are what you're really seeing, and the white just fades away.
Tell me about the bench.
So this bathroom obviously is very large, too large if you ask me. And so we were lucky enough to have a bench in here, and I really wanted to warm up the space and bring some colors that you're seeing through the window from the garden. Yeah, this fabric I chose, it was a sexy elevated look that I just thought brought some earthiness and some texture and color to this bathroom that has so many hard surfaces.
Are you actually doing weights in here? What's going on behind you?
I do. Yeah, I do. Occasionally, but eventually that'll move downstairs once we finish remodeling.
I think this bathroom has a lot of really good things going for it. I think the one thing that ruins this bathroom is
The tile.
It's a mess.
Well, and the unfortunate part is that it's heated, so it really is an extensive process to rip it all out and redo it. And we may at some point, but we're not right now. The other part that we cannot stand is the black toilet. It shows everything. It's really dirty and gross, and I can't wait to have a white toilet again.
I'm pretty sure Hugh Hefner just called and wants his toilet back.
Thank you so much for watching our video today about paint and touring my house with me. I hope you learned something new. In summary, just remember that your space and the lighting within your space and the materials that are reflecting on your walls are what dictate your paint color.
I think some people forget how important the floor is. If it's light wood or dark wood, it's going to reflect on the ceiling and walls and cast shadows. If you have carpet, if you have tile, the floor is your #1 kingpin that changes the effect and reflection and the color of your light, especially at different times of the day.
Thank you so much for joining us. Watching these videos means we can keep producing them for you, so click the like button below. We also have our Substack, which is all of this information, behind the scenes tours, you name it. So head over there and subscribe.
And don't forget to check out our Shop My page tons of suggestions there, from lighting to furniture to paint colors.
Yeah.
Are paint colors on there?
Yeah, and there's also a Westward Tudor, this house, shopping board. So a lot of the things that you saw on the tour today, you can shop in our Shop My page.
And that is a paint wrap. Like, subscribe, share.
Click the like. Okay, ready? Click the like. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. And don't forget to check out our Shop My page. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. And don't forget to check out our Shop My Shoppy